What's going on, guys? Brock with Bassin227 here, back again with another video. Today's video is going to be about some products that I fished with this summer, and I don't see a lot out there really talking about them, and I gotta say I'm pretty impressed. So what am I going to be talking about? Well, I'm not just going to single out one bait here. I'm going to talk about multiple. But that company, I don't know if you can see it, Yo-Zuri. Yo-Zuri Baits is a Japanese-based company. They really make some pretty good quality baits. So without further ado, let's talk about Yo-Zuri. So the first bait I'm going to talk about here is the 3DB 110 jerk bait SP. So that SP is going to stand for suspending. Now, if you look at it, it's your standard 110 millimeter size bait. Pretty good color selection, I think, for the most part. The theme that I'll have with a lot of these lures, just my personal preference, I would like to see a little bit more of a color selection. Maybe that's just because I've kind of been spoiled with a lot of the Strike King hard baits that I've used in the past, and they've got a little bit more vast color selection. However, the color selection's not bad. So like I said, they're a Japanese-based company. One thing I wanted to point out that I think is outstanding for what they do, and I don't know if there's any other baits on the market that do this, and if there is, definitely leave a comment below and let me know. But, you know, you see this color here, right? This color is done from the inside of the bait. So you're not going to get, you know, the paint wearing off and chipping off like you would with most other baits. It's going to last, which I think is really amazing. I mean, it's always one thing for me when I finally retire a crankbait or what other hard bait I use is, you know, once the paint's finally gone, I just retire it, just go get some new ones. But you'll get a little bit more longevity with this, with, you know, the paint not wearing off. One thing that's pretty neat, I know the jerk bait, so a couple other baits that I'm going to talk about have this, but they've got a magnetic weight transfer system. So, and I'm going to try to get it so you can hear it. So like when you're casting out, I don't know if you can hear that snap or not. So as you're casting it out, that weight snaps back and it helps get you a lot more distance on your cast. And then once it hits the water, that weight shoots back up. So the jerk bait, once you get it going, it's got really good action. I mean, it's going to almost want to completely whip around on each jerk. It's got a real good erratic action, but when it's just sitting suspended in the water, it's going to be sitting about like that, which if you've seen Dying Shad, you know, it's kind of the standard package with how it's going to be looking. Hardware is great. The hooks, I don't know what brand these hooks are, but they are sticky sharp. I've been really impressed. I've only thrown a few colors of the jerk bait, but actually I caught a few fish this year on, I think this is, they call it the Glacier. It's just kind of white, translucent, really good color. But they've got, you know, pretty good color selection, I think, for the most part. But definitely, nonetheless, a really good jerk bait, and I believe their price point's like $9.99, somewhere around there. So it's definitely an affordable jerk bait. Would definitely recommend it. Jump into topwater since that's the next one I've got up here. So first one I will talk about here is their 3DB popper. And again, if you're going to look here, 3DB, and I don't think the camera's going to pick up the back end here. but there's an F. So they're baits that suspend. They've got an SP. For the baits that float, they've got an F put on it. So obviously popper, gonna float. I like the little added bonus here on this back treble hook. I felt like it helped bring attention to the bait as I'm working it. This thing pops really, really easy. It's got a nice concave mouth here, and really for a popping bait, it actually can walk pretty well. You know, hopefully once weather starts getting better and it, you know, comes time to start fishing, I'll get some videos kind of showing how this works and everything. But it spits a ton of water. Again, it's that, well, maybe not. I thought this one had it too. Maybe this one does not, so I stand corrected. I thought the top water had it. So this one does not, but there's a nice little faint rattle. Again, color selection, would like to see more. However, they do have, you know, the basic colors that are gonna get you covered. Again, paint jobs all done on the inside, so your bait's gonna last a lot longer. Sticky sharp hooks. Caught quite a few fish with it. I didn't get the poppers till a little late in the fishing season, but was able to catch a few. And I can't remember this color, but this color did pretty well for me, as well as their I think they call it the Prism Frog. Good looking popper. So definitely check those out. The next one is the 3DB pencil. And I don't know if it's gonna focus on there or not. But, you know, your standard walking style bait. Sticky sharp hooks. Great colors. Again, would like to see a little bit more, but for, you know, your spook walking style baits, feel like they've got a really good color selection. I feel like the placement is just right on where your line ties are going to be at. And this thing has got to be one of the most effortless walking baits that I've used. Absolutely fantastic. And it's got a good, I think this one might, nope, this one's just got a nice little one knocker here. Can't say enough about it. I got the top water stuff kind of late in the game this year, but was able to catch a few fish. One thing that I haven't touched on yet, as far as some of their baits go, is, you know, these eyes. They've got kind of a larger profile eyes on their baits that, you know, will it do anything? Personally, I don't know, but I feel like the larger eye draws a little bit more attention to the bait. But, you know, there's great attention to detail on this bait. If you're looking in the market for a top water, there you go. I think it's about the same, about somewhere between $7 and $10, something like that. Just another color as a reference here. This is kind of one of their prism shads. Nice hooks, sticky sharp, same deal. All right, we're gonna move on to probably one bait that everybody knows in regards to Yo-Zuri. And if you don't, then I think you've been living under a rock. This is the Yo-Zuri Rattlen Vibe. This is probably one of the first lipless crankbaits I ever started fishing with. And these things, you can hear it, make a ton of noise. You know, great body profile, plenty of good color selections for this bait. That's the one thing, you know, I wish they would start tailoring some of the rest of their baits on the color selections that you get out of the Rattlen Vibe. They've got a plethora of sizes, and just to make sure I've got it right, they got a 2.25, a 2.6. And I think it's like a 3.5, 3-inch one. So they've got plenty of sizes. They've got a mini version, which is definitely a lot smaller. But a great lipless crankbait. Love yo-yo in this thing. Definitely worth trying if you have not. If you do any sort of lipless crankbait fishing, I would tell you to go pick up one of these Rattlen Vibes. If you have not, they're really tough to beat. In my opinion, you know, I compare it kind of similar to the KVD Red Eye Shad, their lipless crankbait. Different styles of baits, different actions that you're going to really get out of the bait. But to me, I find myself gravitating towards this every time. Great hardware, sticky sharp hooks, great color selections, and really at an affordable price. Japanese quality at an affordable price. You know, a lot of Japanese baits, they're on the higher end. You're getting great quality out of other baits, but you're paying for the quality. You know, I feel like these baits are just as good quality and they're at a more affordable price. So definitely check those out. So next one, this is their 3DB MidRunner. This is chartreuse blueback. This is gonna go about 8 feet, give or take, depending on the line that you use. And, you know, there's silent, there's nothing in there, no sound, which is okay. This thing's got a great action as it's coming through the water. So you're gonna get a nice side-to-side action as it's going. Really a nice compact profile, good quality lip, again, good quality hooks, and, you know, a pretty decent color selection with these. Again, I know I sound like a broken record here, but I feel like they could expand the color selection a little bit and be able to kind of hit all the points, you know, all across the country. However, they do have the key main colors that you would need to go fish just about anywhere. So definitely check them out. Again, internal paint job, so your baits are going to last a lot longer. And then the one that I spent the most time with this year is their, where we go, there it is. The 3DB Square Bill. This is a nice looking square bill. Great hunting action. I shouldn't say hunting action. It's more of a, you know, a tighter wobble versus like the KVD square bill, for example, which of course is the 1.0, but it's going to have a little bit wider of a hunting action versus this, where this is going to be a little more tight as it's going through the water. These are slowly becoming one of my favorite crankbaits. I need a little more time with them to really compare, because it's hard for me to want to gravitate away from the KVD square bills, for one, because of the price point, and for two, color selection, and I just got a lot of confidence in them. You know, this only comes in one size. I think it's 2 3/8. But again, color selections, I'd like to see more, but they've got a pretty good color selection. Again, internal paint jobs, I know I'm beating the dead horse here, but the internal paint jobs I think is very fascinating in a bait company and what they're doing. And you're going to get a lot more for your money out of the baits because they're going to last longer. You know, your hooks are likely going to go bad before this bait will. Now you could get it hung up and there you go, you're going to need a new one, but it's definitely good quality bait. Big fan of it. So that's going to do it. Again, I got a few other colors, just kind of a comparison here. I think that's a green shad and bluegill color. But that's going to do it. You know, price point, they're great. I think for Japanese quality, for what you're getting, I've caught fish with them this year. I still need more time to really get a feel on how confident I'll be with these baits. But I'm going to spend a lot more time really focusing on fishing those, just to get more experience. Again, I probably found these Yo-Zuri baits that I started using maybe late summer. So being able to use it in the spring and kind of follow through with it definitely is going to hopefully pay off, and hopefully we'll catch some fish on them. I mean, I've been completely impressed so far. So definitely, if you haven't, check them out. You know, I don't see a lot of stuff on here on Yo-Zuri as far as their freshwater baits go. I see more saltwater stuff. But you know, they're kind of in my opinion, so far they're kind of a hidden gem that I think more people need to check it out and see what they're bringing to the table, because really, price point, the paint jobs, they've got the key color selections that you need. Japanese quality. I mean, it's hard to beat that. And I think picking up the baits yourself, giving them a try, I think you'll find the same feelings that I have with it. So that's going to do it for today's video, guys. I'll put some links below. I'll just put Tackle Warehouse links for all these individual baits. Yeah, so hoping we can keep things rolling. I was pretty excited to be able to bring a review out for these baits, and hopefully once fishing season kind of gets into full swing again, be able to get some on the water footage. So if you guys like what you see, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and be on the lookout for more. We're getting the wheels moving on the channel, and really pushing for some growth, and hoping to get a little bit more interaction with everybody. So that's gonna do it for me today, guys. So have a good one. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.